Zanaya.
It's the righteous vigilante Jamon Creek, and you're tuning in to Minds Wide Open.
Hey, yo, check it out. This is Namestream, never mainstream. You're tuning in to Minds Wide Open Media.
Shout out to the Florida Vibe Directory. You're now listening to the best playlist in South Florida.
My music stomping like a kaiju. This ain't no haikus. Hype tunes got me rolling rugged. Look behind you. See us coming, that's my hype crew. We don't like you. High school, you was living large, but this is side two. Now I'm on Evangelion all across my view. You ain't cool. You ain't in the rooms that I be mobbing through. Who was you? They know who we are. It's episodic news. Roll with scammers and some other crews. I got psychotic dudes. Just the ways. Single lady gaze, but you don't want it to. I'm on the roof.
And welcome back, everyone. This is the Florida Vibe Directory. I'm your host, Adrian Cea, and on today's episode, we got Ivan L in the building.
What up?
What's up, man? So,
Yes, sir.
you know, you reached out to us. You were like, yo, I see what you guys are doing. Would love to come speak on it.
Absolutely.
You know, I checked out your music, and I love what I'm hearing.
Appreciate it. Great time.
I know you recently came out with a project.
Yep.
Tell the people more about it.
All right, so the project is called In My Vibe. I can't remember when I put it out actually now, but I put it out during the summertime, and it's a great record. Like, it's 16 tracks long, and it's got a eclectic sound to it. So we got like classic hip hop records on there, but we got like house music on it. We got, some UK grime on it, some garage. Of course, some R&B vibes on it. We got a little bit of everything. So
Hell
I
yeah.
think it's a great record.
Hell yeah, love the sound of that, man.
Yes, sir.
So, where did you get this diversity from, right? Because I know you have typically you stick to the rap, right?
Yeah.
You got like this '90s rap vibe to you.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you see this diversity of like house and a little bit of electronic kind of mixing into it?
I think just throughout the last 2 years, me listening to I started listening to a lot of different types of music. Like, I've always been really open to different genres of music since I was a kid. I was listening to like Linkin Park and, rock bands and stuff. So as of the last 2 years, I started just dipping more into like house music and UK stuff. The stuff from the UK really just started piquing my interest. Like rappers from over there, like Big Zoo.
Okay.
There's a bunch that I listen to from over there. They got crazy names too. Kofi Stone is one of them. So I started listening to a lot of cats from over there, and they like to use different sounds. Like, they don't rap
Right.
over our beats. And, listening to their shit made me want to open up my sound, you know what I'm saying, and take it, I guess, international, I suppose.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So you just kind of picked, okay, I like this sound. I'm gonna
Yeah.
kind of mess with it here. Let me see what I could do with it.
Absolutely, because I've always been a sponge, and then luckily enough, like, I work with certain producers, like, hands-on, and I just get to tell them, like, what sound I'm looking for, and they're really open to, like, their sound palettes as well, so they'll just, all right, let's try to make that. They'll take it as a challenge, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, cool.
So, yeah.
So you mentioned producers. One thing I did love listening through your album, especially In My Vibe, is the selection of beats.
Thank
Right,
you.
you got quite a good selection going through there.
Appreciate it.
Are those all from the same producer?
Not all of them, but a lot of them are from my guys AC Ace and Ghost of Young Sage. Together they formed Face Ghost. So they have some records on there that they co-produced together, and then they have records on there that like one or the other produced. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So yeah, they're like my main go-to guys. But then there's a couple other guys that like I've been recording over their beats for years. Like, I never even met them in person, but like found them online years ago, started buying beats from them, and we built
That's
a
what's up.
relationship through that. So yeah,
That's incredible.
yeah, appreciate
I
it.
actually had a rapper in here not too long ago who also never met most of the producers he works with. He just kind
Word.
of goes on YouTube and was like, yo, this shit's fire. Like, I gotta hit
you-
him up.
Hey, we're in the 21st century, so you can form, relationships with people all across the globe. So I try to do that. But with Ghost and Ace, it's awesome with them too, though, because I get to work with them in person because they're from Hialeah. So like literally, I see them every week. We go down to the studio and put work in, and we record so much that it ends up being like, hey, let's just experiment because we've done like 30 real rap records. So like,
Yeah.
let's just do some other shit for fun.
I
And-
like that.
And that's how some of these records came about.
Incredible, man. And one thing I noticed is you got a huge sound, like music selection. You know, you got like
Yeah,
a lot of tracks coming out.
appreciate it.
Yeah, that's a feat in itself, bro. You
Thank you,
know?
man. A lot of people say that. I think I got it from just being a fan of guys like Currency. He
Mm.
puts out a shit ton of records if you know who he is.
Yep.
And then shit, Lil Wayne's mixtape run where he was dropping tons of records. So I just feel like I'm the type of artist where I can make music quite easily, not to toot my own horn, but I really can like create really quick. So it's nothing to me to just give them out. Like, let's keep making. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because I always feel like I can make more. So it's no biggie on giving out, these records now. Because I can just make more of them.
Completely get that. If that's inside of you, man, why not just keep using the art?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I like making current music too. Like for instance, last year I dropped like 11 projects
Damn.
because we had the pandemic. I couldn't really like run around and do shows as much. So, that was my outlet. And then I did like Quarantine This, 1 and 2. It was, so it was fun to like make really current records about the pandemic during the pandemic. Like I did something in March, matter of fact. Right when the shutdown happened, I dropped the tape called "Quarantine This," and yeah, it was just fun. It's fun for me.
Gotcha. And is that creative process for you? Do you feel like it's always the same? Do you find yourself kind of like, what does that actually look like for you, your creative process?
It's actually sometimes it's random, man. Like for instance, like I was just in San Diego. I didn't write a rhyme the whole time I was there. I
Damn.
was just kind of like taking in the vibes and being a sponge. So sometimes it takes a week or two for me to just be a sponge to everything around me, maybe some of the entertainment I'm taking in, different things. And then after that, it's all going to come out. Like once I soak something in, I'll just have a period of time where I'm like writing like crazy. So
Gotcha.
it comes and goes.
I
But
see.
yeah, when the inspiration comes, I take advantage of it.
As you should, man.
Yeah.
And when it comes to making songs with other artists,
hmm
um, are you selective about who you do that with, or is it just kind of like whoever's down to make music?
These days I'm a little more selective. Back in the day, I used
Okay.
to be like with the shits, like with whoever, you know what I'm saying? These days I try to like rock with guys that like I'm genuinely a fan of. But I'm still open though to like try stuff out with people, you know what I'm saying? But on this out like to be on my album, I gotta be a fan of your stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
But I'll be on other people's stuff sometimes, so
Yeah, yeah. You got to know when the sound is right. You
yeah,
know.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I found that because usually when people try to hop on your album, they just got a whole nother sound. It
Right.
might not. It just kind of cuts through the.
And sometimes they're
Yeah.
dope. It's just the chemistry might be off. Where it's
Mm,
like, man, you're dope, I'm dope, but we just can't figure out how to get a good record going. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Because I've had that happen in the past where it's like I like that person's music, but it just doesn't seem like we can make a good song together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Sweet man. Um, I noticed that you have music going all the way back to like 2017.
Yeah,
Right.
shit. I got music earlier than that. Yeah,
Well, the ones that I could find, at least on
yeah,
like
yeah.
Spotify and such, right?
Right.
See it going all the way back to 2017, and one of them that I really liked is Evito's Revenge.
That's a lot of my fans' favorite album. It was one of mine too. I think for a while it was my favorite album of mine.
Okay,
Yeah.
why was it your favorite?
Just a lot of different things. The time period, what I was going through, and then two, I think I just kind of unlocked something in myself as far as like creativity because I like figured out how to meld my weird tastes because I like anime, I like wrestling, and that was an album where I was able to like combine pro wrestling and anime and hip hop and made it work. And
Okay,
that sounds nuts when you say it in a
yeah,
sentence, but then when you hear it, it's like, oh shit, like this sounds dope. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And to this day, one of my biggest songs is Night Raid. So,
hmm
thankful for that album because of that.
Incredible. One thing I did notice was that anime sound that you mentioned.
Word.
Like slipping in those kind of like almost like an ad lib, but it's really just like a sample.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So how did you think of that? Right, were you just kind of watching an anime show, be like, "Yo, this would be dope in a
For a
song"?
sample, well, really, I have to give credit to so on the side I do a little mentor work with like with at risk youth and whatnot, and pretty much one of my kids they know I like anime and that's how we kind of relate. They love anime, and one of my guys he knows I rap, So he played the Night Raid beat for me. And once I heard it, it just blew my mind. I was like, yo, I need a link. What is that? And then I connected with the producer. And then I realized, like, yo, there's a whole world of these cats on SoundCloud that are like sampling anime and making beats out of them.
Damn.
So I didn't know that at that point. I just knew, like, yeah, I love anime. I'm like a hip hop nerd. And yeah, once I started hearing those, I was like, oh shit, this exists. But nobody was rapping on them yet.
Okay.
So that's when I was like, yo, I'm gonna rap on this. Like,
Yeah.
what? And then the rest is history.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
The cool little hidden gems that come out of nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely. When I heard it, I just knew, like, if I rap on this, like, it's over. Yeah.
Tell me more about your work with at-risk youth, because I feel like that's maybe a part of you that people in your artist.
Yeah, a lot of
audience
people
get to
don't know
see.
that. I
Yeah.
usually don't disclose, but yeah. So on the side, I work with at-risk youth, and it's a lot of fun, man. Like, I feel like it's a way of giving back, good karma, and I'm like the oldest in my family, so I'm used to being a big brother anyway. So it comes second nature. And yeah, I fuck with it. I enjoy helping others, and that's kind of like why I do like on the side also I do a little bit of managing or mentoring with different artists. Like right now, I'm helping out this artist XX Tina with her stuff, and yeah, I just enjoy helping other people as much
Amazing.
as I can.
And would you say you get that from where you grew up, or?
I guess from my family, I guess it's been instilled in me from my mother. I would definitely say that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're Haitian, so we're big on community. I got a
Yeah.
big ass family, so we're all about helping each other. I mean, shit, I've seen so many relatives throughout the years. Like, they come from Haiti and, they got to start out with nothing, and,
Yeah.
we're helping them out. And then next thing you know, like, shit, fast forward, they're a business owner or whatever the hell, you know what I'm saying? And they got their shit going. So I guess it's just instilled in me to help other people.
Word. You mentioned XX Tina.
hmm
I saw you had a few songs with her.
Yeah.
So how did that relationship start with creating music?
Crazy enough, so I throw a lot of shows. I throw independent shows, like rap shows and whatnot. So I throw my own shows, and I ended up seeing her on Instagram. She had like a video clip or something like that. I thought it was kind of dope, and I was doing a show in Orlando, so I was looking for Orlando artists, and that's where she was based at the time because she was going on Full Sail.
Gotcha.
So I booked her for a show, and then she did well. I liked her sound. It was I remember saying it was like a mix of Lana Del Rey mixed with like a hip hop vibe. Like, you know
Okay.
what I'm saying? Like a thugged out Lana Del Rey or whatever. So I was like, fuck with this. And after the show, she asked me to put her on to more shit. And I was like, well, if you're willing to travel to Broward, I'll have a Broward show coming up, and you can be on that. And she actually came down from Orlando and
Wow.
did that show. And I just kind of fucked with her, with her drive. Like, clearly she was like hungry. And from there, we just kind of built a friendship later on where it was just like, we were cool. So she was already asking me like every day practically for advice on music shit, this, that, the third. So, I started helping her out, and then she just started calling me her manager. Like, I never was like, yo, I'm going to manage you. It was just like, she's just started telling everybody he's my manager. So then from there, yeah, I don't know. We just kept it rolling. That's another person I have good chemistry with when it comes to making records. Like, she's just really, I like her tone. So when I do like certain low singing, she sounds good on the highs sometimes. And yeah, it just one of those situations where it just worked out chemistry wise.
Amazing.
In the studio.
That is one thing I really noted about the chemistry. It really complemented your song, having that female voice come
Voice
in,
on there,
right?
yeah. And that was my idea when I did the record originally. I was like, yeah, it will sound good with her part on it. So then I sent it to her like, yo, when you go in the studio, add this on top, and it worked out.
Nice. Um, it's amazing when that kind of magic kind of really happens,
Yeah,
because
facts.
I mean a lot of artists where I'm like, yo, it'd be great a female vocal artist, and they're like, where the hell are we gonna get that? Like,
Well, shit. I don't even blame them, man, because I've met a lot of female artists in this game, and sometimes, which I understand too, because they're in a difficult position, but sometimes they can be like a little flaky, where it's like, you'll have the studio set up, the date, and it's like, yo, come through and record this part or whatever, and they don't show up and things like that. But at the same time, like within this game, it can be a very predatory for them, unfortunately, because like sometimes dudes aren't really trying to work for real,
Mm-hmm.
and they're trying to like hook up or whatever. So for these female artists, sometimes they don't really know where your head is at. As like for me, you know what I'm saying, as a male asking them to do a record or something like that, they don't know where my head is at. So
Gotcha.
sometimes they can be a little,
Apprehensive
skittish
about
on it.
it.
Yeah.
Right,
So it's
right.
like, and I'm sure that's happened to a ton of other guys where it's like maybe they were in a position where it's like, yo, I'm really trying to like do honest work. But sometimes they've already gone through so much trauma in this game that
Mm,
they don't even want to deal with that shit, like deal with a chance of that shit. So it's like,
right.
fuck it. So I get it.
Yeah, yeah. You bring up a really valid point. Never really
Yeah.
thought of it that way.
Nah, it's because I seen other people like be predators with it. So I'm just like, I already know what the vibes is, man.
Word,
You
word.
feel me?
You mentioned throwing shows. How did
Mhm.
you get into that?
Well, just being dissatisfied with other people throwing shows. So yeah, I started like I was performing young, like right out of high school. I started like performing at like different things, open mics and stuff. And so I did that for a few years. And yeah, it was just always like not always, but sometimes, you'd have those times where you showed up to the show, you did everything you were supposed to do, you brought people, and for whatever reason the promoter puts you on at the end, or you don't get to
Mm,
perform at all, or whatever the case may be. So, I dealt with a lot of those situations, and then I had one opportunity to throw my own show. Didn't even know what I was doing, but I did it, and then from there, I liked it. I liked the feeling of being able to have it all in my hands as far as like the control aspect, I guess. And it took some time, but we got better and better at it, and now it's something that we've done throughout the state of Florida. I've been
wow.
on tour. I've booked my own like West Coast tour, like myself, where it was like I booked it from Florida, and I'm calling the venues and doing all the talking. They don't even know they're talking to the artist. I'm just like, oh, I'm the
The
manager.
manager.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Putting on all the hats.
Yeah, exactly, man. But it's been fun, and then through that experience, I've got to meet other guys who are like me in different states. Like my people in Chicago, ever evolved, and then I know some people in L.A.
Mm,
and then Colorado. So like I've met a lot of different cats that do the same, and now what we're trying to do is just keep building with each other to form
mhm.
like a independent network so that
Mm,
artists can go on tour without having to be a part of a major label. You can just go on your own tours and hit these markets. I'm actually going back to Chicago for another date next month, October 24th.
wow.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Chicago. Does that play like a big role in your life?
Yeah, lately it has. I go there. First off, I've lost count on how many times I've been to the city. I've already just been there, and I'm going back in October. So now lately, I've been going there like 3 times a year, if not more. And yeah, I've made a lot of friends out there through the industry. Just a lot of guys who are in the game up there, and I really like the vibes. Like they're super nice people, and it's weird because Chicago has a reputation
Hmm.
out there, but I've seen nothing but awesome things over there. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Like, so I love the people out there. Shout out to Every Evolved, Rhymester, Hayward, Keem singing, all the whole gang. And yeah, man, they're good people. I've shot several videos out there. I record out there a lot. And actually, a lot of them are on the album as features. Like Mama Yaya. I've never met her in person, but she's an artist from Chicago, and
Word.
we met basically because all those people that I just mentioned are mutual friends. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we connected on that record. And then Can't Buy Deem is another one of those guys. We're good friends, and I'm sure there's more on the album. But yeah, yeah.
Sweet.
So a lot of them are on there, and I love Chicago, man. I feel like it's a second home at this point. Like I got stranded there after my recent show because the I don't know if you knew about this, but pilots went on strike in several cities.
Word.
Yeah,
Did
like
not know about
left
that.
people stranded. Yeah, so we were stuck in Chicago longer than we expected, and they looked out for me like tenfold, man. Like one of them gave me an extra car. Like you're good.
Wow.
Uh, we were in the studio every day. They took me and my girl out every night. Like it was cool, man. So salute to them.
That's a vibe, man. That's
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah.
And these people, did you meet them here in Florida first, and then it went to Chicago, or?
Well, oddly enough, so I was not throwing it, but I was doing a hosting for a venue during Rolling Loud weekend one year, and this girl comes in from Chicago, one of their artists, Jay the artist, and she meets one of my guys, and he tells her what we got going on because we were getting ready to go on a Midwest tour that year, and she was like, "Well, shit, I got friends in Chicago. We could throw shows together, etc." And then next thing you know, we just started trading shows back and forth. So they would come down here, and I would book them for stuff, and then I would go up there, and they'd book me for stuff, and it just blossomed from there.
Wow.
Yeah, so I try to do that with like a lot of different artists. Like recently, for Bro Life Fest that we had earlier this year, I had artists from Vegas come. I had artists from Washington D.C.
Wow.
as well as the Chicago folks. So I try to do that where it's like I want to provide a haven in Florida for artists all over to come travel to and have a good performance, and I want them to do the same for me, so I can hit the road and hit your city. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
That network that you were mentioning earlier.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I strongly believe that like I want us to have eventually, I don't want anyone to steal this idea, hopefully they don't. But I want to have an app where artists can connect in that way, and it could even be on some like couch surfing shit where it's like, yo, find an artist where instead of you having to spend all this money to like Airbnb it, if you find another artist that's a like-minded person, and let's say you're coming from Vegas and you want to come to Miami for a weekend, okay, you can stay on my couch. Boom, I'll point you out to all the, the industry things, whether it be studios, venues to perform at. And now they've bonded where that person who did that for them in Miami can go back and do that over there in their hood in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? And I want to have that nationwide where literally all the artists are working together, because the industry doesn't have to be all, the majors. We can do this ourselves if we just work together, you know what I'm saying? Put the ego aside and just put our heads together.
Love the idea, man.
Yeah.
I think that could be incredibly empowering for the up and coming portion of the industry, especially.
Yeah, and I feel like traveling, like performing outside of your market, it really helps you as an artist. It helps you learn what works, what doesn't work, and how to broaden your sound. You know what I'm saying? And like not just stay within your county or your city as far as like your sound goes, and start hearing other shit.
So you said you mentioned Bro Life. Could you tell me more about that?
Yeah, so Bro Life stands for Being Real Only Lives in Family Eternally. And yeah, man, it's my whole crew / it's really the label now. But yeah, it started off many years ago with just people I grew up with, and now it's blossomed to people that I just feel are dope, and we put our heads together. Like for instance, Beretta Biz, he doesn't even live out here. He lives in Memphis, originally from Philly, and he's part of Bro Life. And yeah, we met in 2016. I just thought he was dope as hell, and it just worked out. So it's a bunch of us. We're a big eclectic crew, but now I feel like we just kind of work more so as a loose label, where you know what I'm saying, we all are about the same things essentially.
Cool. So you got your own little collective.
Yeah.
Like-minded individuals.
Exactly. And yeah, man, those guys are hard workers as well. They put out a lot of dope music. Like Biz is working on Trap Biz, waiting on that to come out, and then Brizzle Warrell's working on his next project. So yeah.
Sweet.
Yep.
Sweet. And does this tie into Dead Raps? Like
okay, so Dead Rapper Society is a different brand, but I mean it's all within the family tree because it comes from the same place, which is my mind. But Dead Rapper Society is two things. So one, it's a streetwear label because growing up I always loved not just streetwear fashion, but growing up being a hip hop fan, but at the same time, loving skateboard culture as well. Like I remember I was like the first kid in my high school that rocked skateboard shoes just because I thought like, oh, that's kind of dope. Like I'm going to wear this with my hip hop clothes and make this shit work, which I did. So yeah, I always loved like just streetwear culture because it mashed both those worlds in a fashion way. And yeah, so later on I decided I wanted to do clothes. And we did that in 2011. I didn't know what I was doing at all. Didn't know how to like make designs or anything like that, but I just did it guerrilla style just to do it. And now I finally feel like I have enough knowledge and know-how to like put it together. So I relaunched as of last year. And yeah, man, it's been going well. So that's the streetwear end of it. And then the second end of it is also it's like I call it I like to call it mentoring, but I suppose it's like artist management right now.
Okay.
So, and our first artist is Tina, which I've been working with, and we put out a EP together last year called Plans for You, and then lately she's been dropping singles.
Amazing.
Yep.
So one thing I'm really, realizing here is that you've become really diversified. It's no longer just about being an artist, right? It's much more. You're making like a collectivism coming out of this.
Absolutely.
As well.
And I feel like I gained that just off of being fans of other people that did the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, once again, Currency. He's very good at that. Like, he has other artists like TY and everyone else. And then also he has Jet Life Clothing and apparel and all that. So, I'm a big fan of what he's done. And then, the Master P's and the original like Rockefeller with Hove and Dame Dash and Burks. So, being a fan of all that stuff, just it felt right to, walk in similar footsteps.
I see, man. You've been really internalizing
Yeah.
your move.
I've been trying to.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Always reminds me of that Lil Wayne quote, real G's move in silence like lasagna.
That's a good one.
Awesome, bro. So what's next for you as an artist? What do you see your journey continuing from here?
Well, all right. What's immediately next is I'm doing In My Vibe Part 2.
Okay.
So that's more than halfway done. I'm just a perfectionist, so I feel like I want to go to the studio and add or record like maybe 8 more records. I probably won't put all 8 on there because I feel like I already have some records, but I just feel like I need to record a little more before I feel comfortable saying like this is it.
Mm-hmm.
And then aside from that, I want to keep diversifying with the clothing. I'm getting ready to, I think 2022, I'll definitely be doing a West Coast tour again or some more dates in LA and Vegas. Unfortunately, the pandemic slowed things down with certain venues, so I kind of had to wait it out. So I feel like my touring is going to go back up. And I just want to continue putting out the amount of music that I have been. I want to keep that going. And another main goal is to shoot a lot more music videos.
Okay.
Yeah. So my goal this year was to drop a video a month, which I think I've kind of been on pace. I think I might have missed like 1 month.
Okay.
But I've been on pace. So hopefully next year I can double that maybe or just keep it rolling. I just want to learn more on video editing so that I can start doing some more myself and just keep my output going harder.
That would be big.
Yeah.
Real big.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when it comes to your videos, do you normally shoot them yourself or do you got like a videographer do you work with?
I've got a couple. So I don't shoot myself. I can edit a little bit, which I've done.
Mm-hmm.
But mainly I work with Hayward, which he's based in Chicago. So a lot of my videos sometimes are in Chicago because of that. And then my cousin Ashton Jazz, he does my other videos. So he did my most recent one, which is West Side East Side with Tina on it. So he did that one, and then Crime Rate he also did. So I fluctuate back and forth between those two mainly. I'm open to working with new videographers. They just gotta be open to working with me, I suppose. Because sometimes these guys like, and no disrespect to them, you got to get your money.
Yeah.
But it's like, yo, if you don't have that much workout, you can't hit me with like a crazy price. Because then it's like I already got people that shoot my videos, so it's like I'm down to like give another person a shot too to give them that shine, but it's like you gotta make your number reasonable,
right?
Else I'm just gonna keep working with who I'm working with, and we're
that's just business.
Yeah. You can't hit me with a crazy price off jump. Like I don't know if your shit is good.
Then it's a finesse. You're not trying to get finessed.
Exactly. Yeah. So for right now, those are the main two that I trust, and I'm very like particular about what I like to see in videos. Like I feel like I grew up a fan of like hip hop for real and music for real. So it's like I'm particular on how I want to be presented because of that reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is very important. A lot of people would think don't put a lot of thought into their image.
Got to. Unfortunately, and it's unfortunate because I would love for the game to be pure and just like get on and rap and that's all that matters. But I remember when I first started rapping, I didn't have a chain on or nothing. I was a big fan of like Mos Def, Talib Kweli, artists like that. And somebody in my neighborhood asked me, "Yo, you rap?" I was like, "Yeah." "Where your chain at?" And I was like, I felt hurt. Like, damn, he even want to hear my shit. Like, nah, where your chain at? Like, bro. So, not saying you gotta, and to anybody listening, not saying you gotta go and get a chain or anything like that, even though I did. But what I'm trying to tell you is just make sure you know what kind of artist you want to be. Know that this game is visual, and they want to see, the people want to see you, and the fans want to see you because the fans want to not necessarily be you, but they aspire to be like you. You know what I'm saying? So you have to give them something to aspire to. And it doesn't necessarily have to be flashy or luxury or anything like that. I mean, look at Kurt Cobain, for instance. His image isn't luxury or anything like that, but he still gave some like people something to aspire to, a look, a feel. You want to have that as an artist.
Wow. Yeah, man, you kind of hit the nail on the head. Like you said, people want to live vicariously through these artists.
Absolutely.
Right? But
yeah, man.
not necessarily I want to be you, but
I want to be like you.
I want to be like you.
Yeah. I want to be in the rooms that you be in and do the stuff that you do, you know? Even me, anybody who's a fan of anybody else musically or in entertainment, you have to you felt that or you feel that in some way. You know what I'm saying? Like when Jay-Z is doing billionaire things, that's something that we're all aspiring to be like. We want to be like Jay. We want to be as creative as a Kanye. You know what I'm saying? Or we want to be as good with the ladies as Drake portrays himself to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So they all have different reasons on why they have broad fan bases. You know what I'm saying?
What that appeal is. Yeah. So when it comes to you as an artist, what do you feel really accelerated your progression, right? Because I listened to your stuff from, back 2017 and then to now, and I could hear the change in sound.
Word.
Right? So what do you feel added to that change?
Well, I feel like it's a couple different things. One, I feel like for myself, I feel like I'm constantly a student to the game. So I'm not one of those artists, even though like I'm not in my teens or like my early 20s, I'm not one of those artists who just looks at it as, oh, this like my shit is like the best shit. I'm not gonna listen to any of that new shit. They all suck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of things about new music that I'm not a fan of, but I'm always willing to at least listen to it because there's always something you can pick up off of it.
Okay.
Like for instance, like I'm not a huge fan of Playboi Carti, but I give him all the respects as far as that sound. I love his beats. Like, and sometimes I'll rap on those types of beats.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna come at it completely different because, I don't rap like that, but I fuck with those beats. So you always gotta be open to listening to new shit because you might not like the artist, but you might like that sound that they bring to the table or something. So listen to new people because there's always something to pick up on. It's like I look at this shit like sports. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be in the league right now. Like LeBron, for instance, LeBron is LeBron, but he still has to pay attention to what, what's the ball brother? Not Lonzo, but the other brother. LaMelo, yeah, he still has to pay attention to what LaMelo's bringing to the table or Zion because these are the young bucks and they might have something where it's like, hey, yo, that kid might see something in the game that Bron hasn't because he's in the game for so long, but they've been watching these cats play on TV their whole lives and now they're finally made it to the league. So there might be an angle or something that they see that no one else saw. So pay attention to the young cats because of that. So that's one. And then two, I feel like what helped me with the progression is just meeting new people. As time went on, I met different producers and different artists that I started working with, and that you meet better and better artists and producers. So like, hooking up with AC Ace and Ghost of Young Sage, that brought another level to my game because then I started working with cats that are making the beat right there in the room with me. So I'm writing the record before the beat even gets finished. So now this beat is catered more so to me than something that I just heard and it's like I like that and I want to add my piece to it now. Like this beat is being catered around to my style. Like it's been super cool to walk into a room and have the producer ask me, "How do you feel today?" And then based off of that answer is how that beat sounds. You know what I'm saying? That's cool as fuck.
That's dope. Yo, I never thought of that.
Yeah,
you know?
man. So that's really changed my whole sound.
Yeah. Producer would be like, "You feeling aggressive today?" And you're like,
Yeah,
"Let's get it."
exactly. Or I've had moments where I'm like, "Nah, man, like I'm feeling depressed," and so it's like, "All right, let's make this kind of record." Or, "Yo, I want some house shit." All right, cool. Let's, you know what I'm
Do
saying?
some house shit.
Yeah. So that's been cool because I've never had that before, where I've been able to just go off of how I feel.
Mm.
Yeah.
I can definitely see how that can create like a really big adaptability to your music. Right?
Absolutely, man.
Whatever you're really feeling, you can kind of dig into that and then release it.
You release the vibes. That's why I call this In My Vibe. You feel me? Yeah.
So that's where the title came from.
Yes, sir.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Do you feel a lot of your albums that you've released in the past, like, do they have a major importance? Like one thing I noticed, you use the word IV a lot. Why do you use that?
Well, IV started off as something my friends would just call me, like off mic or outside of like rap. You know, shout out to my best friend in the world, Manny. And then my homegirl Julie, they used to call me IV or Ivito or Vito, you know what I'm saying? So because of that, it just kind of stuck, and then I just started using it in rap, you know what I'm saying?
Word.
As referencing myself. So it just was just a nickname.
Word. It just kind of stuck. And
That
like,
kind of stuck.
I'm using it.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Yeah, there's one thing I realized, like, Avito's Revenge, you know, Avito, IV, and I'm like, I'm seeing a pattern here.
Yeah, it's just a nickname that I gained, and I fuck with it. I like it.
Cool, man. And one thing I noticed, this Further Stars, did you create that?
Oh no, actually, so that's not me. Further Stars is not me. Unfortunately, there's like a guy out there who I guess, or I don't know if he still does make music, but he has the same name as me, but his is Ivanel with a period. I used to go by Ivanel with a period, but I realized it was too confusing between mine and his shit because the algorithms would put us as one artist. So that's actually one of his records. Shout out to him. I wish you weren't making music because you're making shit confusing for me, but but I think he's changed his name since, because I guess he realized like, shit, this dude's putting out music like every month.
A lot.
I can't keep up with this motherfucker. I'm just gonna change my name.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was an issue in the beginning. I was like, who is this cat?
Who's
You
this
know what I'm
Ivanel?
saying? Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask, because I'm like, it sounds like a whole. Maybe he was getting experimental with it, you know, because it's like me. EDM heavy. And
yeah, not me.
Okay, word.
Though I just dabbled in my first beat this year. The beat for Crime Rate, the first half. That's me. So
sweet, man. How was that experience?
It was fun, man. It was fun. I never cared to put a beat together, you know what I'm saying? It was my first little shot at it. And I liked it simply because it was just something to check off on the list. Like, I always wanted to do it, but never did. I don't think I have the patience to make beats full time or anything like that.
Okay.
I'd rather, I don't know, my creative juice, I'd rather just write than make the beat.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's a lot of work because of that. Salute to the producers.
For real, I think you really got to have a type of personality in mind for it, man.
You got to have a love for it because, like, shout out to the producers, Ghost and Ace. Like, they really be going in on the intricacies of certain beats, and it's like I be sitting in the cut like, I don't care. Like, can we like let's go? Like, who cares what decibel this is at to that? Like, whatever. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? So I can't imagine being one of those people like that's just stuck on that type of stuff. But salute to them. I mean, you need that. You still need that. It's just that's not for me. Yeah.
Is there another portion of music that you're kind of like exploring now? Like you mentioned, kind of like producing, and you kind of dipped your toes into that.
I've just been on this record, and then a couple records before. I've just been experimenting with using my voice more, singing more. So I don't think I'll ever do like a record where I'm just singing on it. But I've been utilizing my voice for like hooks and different parts more than I ever have been in the past. And it's like we said earlier with the progression, like I give all props to the guys that I've been working with, like my engineer. Shout out to Nikki from Palm Beach Records and Ghost and Ace for that because they push me to like, yeah, man, that'll sound good. Use your voice, sing, and I'm always like, hell no. Like, well, at first I was like, hell no, you know what I'm saying? And then they're the ones that kind of gave me the confidence to realize, like, nah, you got a really low singing voice. Like not a lot of people can do that. That shit's hard, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I never really took it serious, but once they kind of boosted my head up a little bit, now I'm like writing all these songs where I have to use my voice more, and it's been fun.
Sweet.
In my vibe too, I got a lot of surprises for people.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
You said something about your team, right? Like your team really pushing you.
Yeah.
You know, who do you feel added a lot to who you are today as an artist? That is a part of your team.
A lot. Well, that's a tough question because I feel like a lot of people have provided different pieces.
Okay.
But my girl Trillery, she's I will say her first and foremost because she's always given me a lot of positive reinforcement as far as like my ideas and sometimes I get crazy ideas and usually she's pretty supportive with them. So that's always good to have a supportive partner because I mean you need that, bro, because sometimes as an artist you're gonna second guess yourself.
Right.
So it's good to have somebody who's like, nah, that shit sound good, or like you should try it. So she's very good with that. I think Ace and Ghost are awesome because I feel like those two people are two people that believe in me a lot. And it's like I believe in myself a lot because it takes a lot of self-belief to do what I do. But it's awesome to feel that other people believe in you hard body as well. And I feel like those two cats are two cats that really believe in me because they're down to record new music with me every single week. They're down to, let's take a trip to D-Land, the middle of nowhere, and let's just hone in and make records this whole weekend.
Right.
And that's fun for them.
Yeah.
And it's fun for me, but it's not fun for a lot of people. So like, let's travel fucking 3 or 4 hours to just make music the whole time this weekend. They're all in for that,
Wow.
That's a great time for them. So, I give them props for that. I give props to my dog Brizzle. Just for being, that's one of my closest friends on earth, but one of my closest friends as far as like in the rap world as well, because we go through similar things and it's like he's somebody who's always like, fuck it, bro, keep going. That's always been his mantra and I need that. Like I said, I need somebody who feels that same way of just like, fuck it, bro. Like this game gets hard. Sometimes it'll have you second guessing yourself as far as like, what am I doing this for? You know what I'm saying? Are enough people listening? But he's one of those people who's like, fuck it, bro, let's keep going. And we've been through the trenches together. So it's awesome to have him as somebody that I'm close to in this game. And that's why I give so much to like whenever he's dropping something like, I'm trying to be all over it or I'll put him all over my projects while he's in between projects because I want people to still recognize how dope he is. You know what I'm saying? So him, XX Tina provides a lot of what she does is she reminds me of the game when it was fun. I mean, I still think the game is fun, but like, it's like teaching her certain things is fun for me because it's reminding me of like certain shit that I went through. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's fun on that aspect because it's reminding me to just enjoy this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because in the beginning you got into this because it was like mad fun and you just wanted to like try shit. So she gives me that I don't know what the word is, but I want to say reinforcement of like this shit's still fun. Like you know what I'm saying? This shit's still fun.
Yeah, and also it's like a mentorship.
Yeah, it's giving back. So she adds that to the crew, and then all the homies like Biz and Jack and Win. Now I just feel like it's just a cool brotherhood where I just feel like we've all grown as men. You know what I'm saying? Some of us have had kids and moved to different places and stuff like that. So it's fun to keep our relationship strong and they give me a little sense of brotherhood a little bit. And then my family is just they provide me with creative juice randomly. You know what I'm saying? I'll mention them a lot on music, and yeah.
Amazing. I always ask that, or try to ask that question, because I think people lose sight of how important it is. You know, as an artist, it's all about you a lot of times, you know, because you got to make this image of yourself and put it out in the world. But behind that is this whole support system that a lot of people don't see that really needs to exist.
Yeah, facts. And yeah, to you all, everyone I mentioned, and even those who I didn't mention, thank you all. Thanks to anybody who has given me any support, whether it be my folks in Chicago, my dog Callie in Colorado, all you guys, like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody who's given me anything, kind words in my inbox, just sharing like that you bought some merch and tagging me on my story, all that shit is amazing. So thanks to you all.
Amazing. So is there any particular place that the people can find you on Instagram?
Yeah, so the main hub is Ivan L. Rhymeswell at Instagram. And shoot, you can find that literally Ivan L. Rhymeswell. You can find me at Facebook on that if you still use that. Twitter, it's Ivan L. Rhymeswell. And then Spotify, Apple Music, you're just gonna have to type in Ivan space L. So yeah.
Dope.
Oh, and then brolife.net for the merch. My bad.
Brolife.net.
Yes, sir.
Check that shit out. We got some
merch.
fly merch in there.
Yep.
And is there anything else you would love to tell the audience?
Shoot, let me see. Just please go on brolife.net and buy some merch, because you know what I'm saying, that helps me a lot. And also just come out to my shows if I'm hitting your area, whether it be in Florida or somewhere else. Hit me up and come to a show. I mean, I just booked one actually at a brand new venue that's hitting Pompano Beach. It's called Tough Times Tavern. Might be their first show ever. I'm not sure if they booked anything before that, but that's happening October 9th, and I'm going to make it a free show. So, and I'll book a couple other artists too to open up, but it's going to be completely free, brand new venue. Trying to give back to the community, because I mean, we need more venues out here. We've had a tough time with the pandemic, so that's why I'm making it a free show, and let's get to it.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
So y'all heard it, you know? Look out for that free show, the new album dropping soon, hopefully.
Yeah, so right now, go stream In My Vibe in the meantime while you wait. For those of you who have listened to my shit, you know already, like, if I'm making you wait a little bit for a record, then I'm going all out. So just know In My Vibe 2 is going to be super dope. And yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Yep.
Well, this has been an amazing conversation.
Appreciate it big time.
Yeah. Glad that people can find you on all the IGs, the YouTubes, and I'm really looking forward to that part 2.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well, because I've been listening to like the records that I already have done and the stuff that I'm waiting for like a feature back on, and I'm just like, I'm excited just listening to it. So now I just want to like add certain pieces. I feel the only pieces that are missing, I want to add those, and yeah.
Sprinkle it up in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see how it comes out, but I'm excited.
Hell yeah, man. Well, stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. You will see it very soon. Like I said, this is the Florida Vibe Directory. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Catch us next time on the next episode. If you like what you heard, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll catch you soon on the next episode.
This is Zanaya.
It's the righteous vigilante Jamar Creek, and you're tuning in to Minds Wide Open.
Hey, yo, check it out. This is Namestream, never mainstream. You're tuning in to Minds Wide Open Media.
Shout out to the Florida Vibe Directory. You're now listening to the best playlist in South Florida.